My teeth hurt.
I'm not surprised.
Huh?
That your teeth hurt. You seem like somebody that would happen to.
Fair enough.
Hello, and welcome back to Night Cheese Book Club. I'm your host, Suzanne, and with me is my co-host, Presley.
Also sisters and soulmates.
Mother did insist that I say that you're my co-host.
Yeah, because she's
in life and
my champion.
Not in life and death. In life and on the podcast.
Because she cares about me having a place and not being in your shadow.
Well, that's nice, I guess, but we'll see.
It's hard being the baby, let me tell you.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, actually it's not. I rarely get in trouble for anything. I don't know what it's like.
It's really spoiled you.
But also don't yell at me.
This is Night Cheese Book Club. We are the spoiler-free book podcast coming at you with some hot books, some hot topics. You can find us on pretty much all platforms. We have taken over the internet by storm.
Specifically YouTube.
YouTube,
we're
Instagram.
Basically the most popular, I'd say.
Spotify, #1.
This is not made up, people.
These are real facts.
Yeah, don't check. But...
check.
No.
But do check.
Yeah,
it's
or
true.
check. We've got nothing to hide. Don't say that. What?
Don't bring up what we have to hide or they'll know. Nothing. There's nothing to hide.
Right.
Right. Speaking of numbers, today's book is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, and our theme is women in male-dominated professions.
I guess that is something. I would think more letters when we think of chemistry. Well, I guess numbers is numbers and letters.
The letters represent the numbers.
I am not a scientist.
Nor am I. Although, I think that I use a good amount of science.
I was about to say, I know enough.
Yeah, I know enough to be dangerous.
Well, we all have our little pocket computers enough to be dangerous.
That's so true. I mean, really, you could find anything now.
Yeah, like you can't make a bomb. Don't tell me you can't make one. You could. You're just being lazy.
Yeah. Don't ask what you can Google. That's going to be the saying of our generation.
Come on.
Or ask if you want to start a conversation. But don't be annoying about it.
About bombs or just in general?
I don't know why you keep bringing up bombs. Yeah. I have already called the police and they're on their way.
I don't know why either. Something's in there. Somebody said my sleeper word.
To bring it back to our regular scheduled program, what have you been doing since we last recorded?
Over the weekend I went up to Philadelphia and I went to the Disney exhibit at the Franklin Institute, and you know what? It was super fun. They had a lot of older Disney stuff. There was a lot of reading involved, so I'm not surprised that like children don't like it, because like it's a lot of just reading. It's like a museum, and there's like a couple of interactive things, but it still was a lot of reading. But there was not many children there, and we went later in the day, so it wasn't as crowded. So actually, overall, it was really great. Saw some friends up there, and this was all before 95 collapsed, so we missed that drama, luckily. And
really
fun.
Missed the doozy there. That's good.
Yeah, because, well, we were lower than that anyway, but man, I can only imagine the traffic. But
crazy.
Yeah, don't miss that.
That was my exit when I lived there.
Yep, and see, what would you have done?
Died.
No.
Jumped really far and really fast. 20 feet at least.
Yeah.
That's my secret power. Don't tell anyone.
You would have jumped the gap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easily. What I've been doing, well, we saw Kiki's Delivery Service in the movie theater. We also saw the new Stephen King adaptation movie, The Boogeyman. That was great.
A sweetie and a sweet.
I love the movies. I love going to the movies.
I love going to the movies, especially these movies. Now it's just a recliner.
And I feel like we really are at a place where they understand that just keep making movies of books constantly.
Yes, and TV shows. That's what the people want.
That's what the people want.
It's always like when you can tell if it's a book first, you can always tell because it's got that extra oomph.
It's got depth.
Yes.
Depth of character.
And I'm already sold, pretty much.
Same. Especially, I believe this one has been in discussions to be...
I saw a TV show.
Oh, I mean, that would be even better.
I think so too. I saw a TV show and
There's
then
so much.
Someone put like a picture, I don't think it's from it, but somebody put a picture of just like a woman in a white suit and I was like, yeah.
Science lady.
I can see it already. Yeah.
So, I'm going to thank Amy C., my fellow nurse, who recommended this book to me. It really has been one that's been popular for a long time, since it came out, basically. And I don't know, I don't think it's the cover. Something about it, it was always in that, like, and I'll get to it on the TBR, where I didn't think that I would love it as much as I did. Man, I loved it. It was great.
The cover is quite eye-catching, I think.
It really is. I like the color.
That nice, what is this, salmon?
I would say coral.
Oh, yeah, coral. Look at all that orange in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a good cover.
So thanks, Amy. I've already recommended and gifted it multiple places.
Yes, yes. But,
it's fabulous. So the writer, Bonnie Garmus. Garmus? Yeah, that's it. I feel like I'm looking at the book too many times this
I know,
time.
yeah, you're like staring at it. See, it is eye-catching. It works. But
I'm captivated
this was
by her
published.
beauty.
It was published March 2022, so it's pretty. Well, it's gonna be a year old. Nope, already a year old. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to June.
Ooh.
Are you medicated?
No, I did. Well, yes, but I just came off of working night shifts for a while, and now I'm daytime. So I don't know what day it is, month, year. I don't know, but I'm here.
Time is an illusion, so
It is.
it's fine,
it's
really.
It's just a construct. I'll ignore it.
So, Bonnie was a copywriter. Now she's an author who's probably sold enough books that she doesn't have to do the copywriting portion anymore.
Probably. A New York Times bestseller. I would think so.
You'd hope so.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I liked in the end of the audiobook, so I went between the real book and the audiobook. At the end of the audiobook, she talked a bit about using source material from the time.
Yeah, there was an interview at the end of it.
An old textbook is just so funny. They are ridiculous.
It's funny until you're at a school and then the textbooks they hand out are from an older textbook and you're like, oh no, my education is not going to be good.
Yeah, advanced potion making.
Yes, or like the books I feel like we had in health class were from like the 80s and like they were like, rickets is really a problem.
It was.
Everyone's going to get scurvy. And I'm just like, do I need this?
Yes.
You've
had rickets twice.
Right. That was me breaking my own hand off. You all couldn't see. Go watch it on YouTube. You'll see it.
You'll see it. It's just laying on the floor now, bleeding.
The cat's going to play with it.
So, we're going to try a new little segment where instead of coming up with a weird summary, we're just going to read you...
I wouldn't say weird. I'd say awkward.
Not weird.
And, not helpful.
We are going to read you the actual synopsis from the book.
Go for it.
Do you want to read
Ted,
it?
go for it.
I'm already holding it. I'll do it. Chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality, except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. Of all things. True chemistry results. Like science, though, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but also the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking, combine 1 tablespoon acetic acid with a pinch of sodium chloride, proves revolutionary. As her following grows, not everyone is happy because, as it turns out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook. She's daring them to change the status quo.
What a good summary, till
It's
you
good.
mispronounced that one thing. And then, what was that part? Of
People
all things,
find
her
me
mind.
relatable. Oh, I know. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things to fall in love with, but the thing that you should like about somebody is their mind.
And even like, I was reading articles about it, obviously, and I feel like one article was like, and in this pink book, and I was like, I feel like you're missing the point here. But I guess, and like maybe it was like an
Maybe
ironic.
it was a deep joke.
Yeah, like I thought maybe an ironic thing, but I still was just like, oh.
Is it funny though?
You don't want to get us women riled up by
Always. Beware. Yeah. So overall, I thought it was great. The dialogue is funny. The plot was interesting.
The characters are so good.
There's
Who's your favorite
unexpected
character?
twists. I don't always want to say 6:30, but I think it's 6:30.
It was, yeah,
The
6:30
dog.
was great. I liked Elizabeth the best.
She is class.
I don't know. I just like it. Like she's just, I think, really funny and like just such a good character that like, I was reading these reviews online that were like, oh god, like most reviews for this book, fantastic, because you know what? This is a great book. This is a great book.
It's well written. It moves
Yeah,
at the right pace. It's just interesting.
It's a
It's
great book.
captivating.
It's absolutely worth reading. The bad reviews for this book, I feel like were quite reaching, and they were just like, oh, you're talking about like, sexual assault of women and this and that, and that's not it. And it's like, hello, real world. Because they were like, yeah, in this fantasy book, and it's like, what? I'd love to live on the planet where you live, where these things don't happen. But like, are you kidding? That's the like, there should be books. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be a serious book either. Like, it can combine these really serious issues and still be a humor book, because that's life too.
Oh yeah, I mean, laugh about it. You gotta laugh about it.
Yeah, we all have our opinions, but if
You don't have to laugh about it.
Yeah, but if you didn't,
But I
like this
enjoy
book-
that. I like to lightheartedly look at serious topics.
Yeah.
And truly, it is, I mean, it was very accurate of a portrayal of, like, things that even happen now.
I was about to say 1960s,
But I think it
and
was-
even now.
Yeah, I think that for a lot of people who leave reviews, you can just tell that they just want to be mad about something.
That's what I said. They were just reaching for any more, where they just be like, a woman lead character in this book about women.
Cancel it. And it's, nothing is perfect. Really, like, anything that you read, any person, people are not perfect, and you're not going to agree with 100% of things, even in a fiction book, even in a book that you love. And being able to kind of compartmentalize your own beliefs, and then, understanding that somebody else created a piece of art and that you don't need to agree with everything that a fictional character says.
Yeah.
Just taking a step back and taking a big breath might help you a lot. Not everything is about you.
Yeah. But no,
Meow.
that's exactly it.
True.
But,
It sounds mean to say, but once you embody the belief that not everything is about you, your whole day is going to go so much easier.
yeah, and it shouldn't be either. Like,
Truly, you care about you the most, as you should. But don't take things personally, man.
Yeah, and it is what it is, man.
I love the Jinx Monsoon quote that, well, I mean, a lot of people say it, but water off a duck's back. Things that, somebody wants to get mad in reviews, somebody wants to bring up little points and just get angry about stuff. People want to act like you're an idiot woman because you have boobs, and
That offends them.
anything like that, just water off a duck's back. Let it roll right off you. Keep on trucking.
And you gotta. But I thought this book was great, especially like just how it highlights women's roles in society, especially back then. Like, obviously neither of us were alive then, but you're right, it's still, a lot of it rings true now, where like you know, in especially male dominated fields. It's different. It is.
Definitely. Well, that actually is the subject of our subject for the episode this
Did
week.
we not mention that yet?
We definitely did. But to bring it back around to that, the women in male-dominated professions, that is Presley. Presley is in a male-dominated profession. And I would say that you always have been, because you went to school for collision repair.
Yeah, but I've been working in warehouses for almost 10 years now, which is a thought. But yeah, I've always, I guess, worked in male-dominated fields, and it's very different. Although where I work now, I would say that the ratio is 50-50. Like, maybe it's like a little bit more men, but it's still like a lot of women, which I have been loving because it's just so much easier. Actually, my last 2 jobs in warehouses, I was the only woman, and it was so frustrating.
Lots of anger,
no communication, and like, God forbid something get put in a trash can. Like, that's right. Like, what? Not saying that only men are messy, but like,
it's just more likely.
They're just doing.
It's just more likely that somebody isn't concerned with their environment.
Yes, or like
or their impact on other people.
And having a clean workspace, having a workspace that's open that you can do stuff on. Stop junking it up. Stop putting things on it. But that is my cross to bear. But not anymore. But no,
I don't think I've ever worked in a male-dominated profession. All of mine have been like pretty heavily female.
Yeah.
I worked in a library when I was a youth, and that was mostly women, except for the Dwight character that I worked with, and he was a hoot.
Well, there's a hoot.
He was a hoot. Oh man, he was a hoot. Things had to be exact.
You say Dwight character in a library, I'm immediately like, I don't want to be near him, and he smells like salami, and
he did get things done.
All right, fair enough. If he's good at working, because you know what, at work, it's, again, not personal, it's business.
It's all business.
I never take anything personally at work because I don't care. It's your company, not mine.
Truly.
What are they going to do?
And in nursing, of course, it's mostly women.
Yeah. I mean, I don't,
And that, it comes with its own challenges, but I like working with all women for the most part.
No, I missed it. And like the places where I have worked where it's mostly women, I feel like it's a good time every day. And like, I never mind working with men either because most of them are alright, but you get a lot of, one, obviously, you get a lot of that male attention that, gosh, I just really want at work when I look like shit and I'm tired and I don't want to hear it, and they're like, hey baby, what's up? And I'm like, why? Obviously nobody wants that outside of here. Why do you think I would? I literally have to be here to pay my bills, and you think that it's fine.
Well, it's also just so I really like, my boyfriend Phil has mentioned before that he's always had this like policy of like, you don't hit on somebody at their work. Like,
yes, but Phil has integrity.
But that's true. He's a weird old soul.
Yeah, like but he has that sense of justice. He says that, but like, I would say 90% of men don't even think that. That doesn't even come into their brain that I'm not interested.
Well, I'm just saying this to the other percentage of them.
They're not listening to this.
So they are. Listen,
they
right
go,
now,
what
all
his
of you,
book?
Write this down. If somebody's at work, so you're at a bar, something like that, maybe somebody would give you a definite signal that they're interested, and then you could proceed. But just operate under the assumption that somebody is doing their job and maybe being nice to you because they're doing their job.
Yeah, or like, wild idea, why don't you ask them? I don't know, just ask. That's what a wild idea.
That's actually what I think is good about what Phil says. So when somebody's at their job, you don't ask because they're at their job.
No, you said at a bar.
If they're a bartender.
Oh, I thought you meant like if you're all going out for drinks or whatever. Like, ask them. But
I'm just ready to go drink. That's the problem.
Well, from a warehouse, they all go out to drink together a lot, so I'm just assuming. But like, even that, like, I think at work, like, in a warehouse, I know it's a little bit more laid back. I do think that, like, if you are interested and you think that other person is interested, I don't think anything hurts with just asking, but, like, in a nice way. Although most people, like, if you get the hint of them being uncomfortable, you say never mind or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Say it was a joke. Haha.
most men don't get that hint though. Like, at least the ones that I've been asked to dinner, and then I'm like, no, and they're just like, they don't get up. It doesn't seem to bother them that I seem extremely uninterested, and that's what I mean. Where it's like, I don't know. I don't mind them asking because it's better than them, like, just, I don't even know. I can't blame anybody for asking, I suppose. I wouldn't, but as long as they're, like, respectful after I say no, that's okay. If they keep being weird about it, yeah, then we have a problem. But luckily...
It's a whole different topic.
Yeah. But then again, like, I think I'm also in a different category because I am almost 6 foot. In my boots, I'm over 6 foot. Whereas, like, I work with a lot of these other women who are, like, 5'2", and, like, and I'm like, you are so tiny. Like, someone could just steal you. Someone just steal you.
And they do.
And they do. And that's scary for them because, like,
yeah.
I...
Speaking of 95, there's a lot of human trafficking around here.
Thanks. Thanks.
If you see something, say something.
Oh, for real, be careful.
Well, and
but
be careful, ladies.
That's what I mean. I think they even have, like, a little bit more of a different experience than I even do, just because, like, at least I can, like, vaguely protect myself, whereas, like, these other women, you're so tiny, it's scary for them.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've had okay experiences in that realm. Warehouse work. Now, with the getting angry thing, oh my god. If I had a nickel for every trash can I've seen thrown across a warehouse, where I've literally had men scream in my face, I've had men take tools out of my hands because they think they know more, I've had, things just stabbed into walls. It's just...
Ugh, yuck.
That's what I don't like the most about it.
That's so off-putting.
It really is, and it's just like, talk about unprofessional. That's unprofessional.
And, like, getting to that point, you've already lost whatever argument you were trying to have.
It's not even an argument. They're, like, mad that, like, the screw won't go into the hole, and then they're trying to force it in there, and then it strips everything, and then they're just mad about it. And it's like, why do you think we have tools? Like, your normal human strength doesn't cover that, man. It's about... Let me tell you this. It's always about finesse. It's never about brute strength. Because that's why we have tools. Because we don't have that. Because we're humans. It's about finesse. Actually, that goes true with humans as well. It's about finesse. You can't force anybody. Finesse. Everybody chill out. Oh my goodness.
Chillax, doodles.
Anyway, back to the book after I'm done my crazy tangent. What I also liked about this book was that it had, and obviously neither of us are mothers, so we don't really know, but I like the fact that it had motherhood in this, but it didn't feel like forced. It didn't feel like, I don't know, like it felt like kind of how I felt like how we grew up, where like our mom kind of didn't treat us like children necessarily.
No, that you're just another member of the team at that point.
Yeah, like you're just like a human that wants to learn.
And that Elizabeth stayed true to herself throughout the entire book.
I guess she treated us like children, but like smart children.
Yeah.
Capable.
Yeah, we definitely were encouraged to learn to do things for ourselves, and...
That's what I mean. Just a lot of learning.
Yeah, it's nice. Speaking of, back to the saying that there's a magic brick in your pocket that can look things up. If you asked a question when we were young, you had to go get the dusty, gigantic old encyclopedias and dictionaries off of this dusty bookshelf, which, in hindsight, it was really cool. But you have to look all this stuff up. So I really appreciate Google for now. Just the ease of research is so nice.
I think it's also opened up a lot of things for, again, like, different genders, different races, all kinds of stuff. Whereas, like, now nothing's really able to, like, gatekeeping's slowly not becoming a thing anymore, just because, like,
you can learn anything on YouTube. We all have
access to that knowledge now, and, like, people are starting to find out, like, oh, this isn't hard, like, I just didn't know how to do it, and now that I know, I can do it. And I love that, like.
You could learn anything.
Yes. And,
Alright, well that is going to bring us to our game, which this week was my game for you.
I'm ready.
So,
Gimme.
I'm gonna name a profession, and you tell me what percentage of that profession is female. We're also gonna add in that gender is also an illusion. Is it? I don't know. We're not gonna get political about things like that.
Yeah, like
You can think what you think, and that's great. No matter where you fall in there. I support you.
Well, but this podcast is our opinions, though. So, like, yeah, it just kind of like, to me, gender irrelevant. I'm proud to be a woman, but to me, gender is like, as long as you're a good person, you're good for me. So,
Same.
just be a good person, please. The
I
bar is so
support-
low.
Definitely. I support everyone's freedoms and rights. And you do you, boo.
Yes.
And
Stay in your lanes.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, for everybody.
But this is more of a traditional female identifying percentage.
Gotcha.
So, it's also as of 2020, so that might have changed in the last 3 years.
I
But
will calculate that in.
first job, farmers.
Oh,
How many lady farmers?
I don't know.
Not farming ladies.
40%.
That's a different percentage.
Now, 40%.
24.4%.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought there'd be more.
I feel like maybe there is more after the pandemic because we've all been like, oh,
Yeah,
farming's fun.
that's kind of
It's hard
surprising.
work, but it's fun.
Yeah, and like if anything, I feel like food's kind of important, so we should probably all know that.
Food is important, and
Hey.
if you want food to continue to be present, plant some flowers.
Flowers.
Firefighters.
Plant a hot dog tree. Firefighters. 15%.
3.5%.
3.
Yeah, that's a lowie.
And you know, and actually, so I would have to assume because of that job, you do have to pass like physicality tests, and like
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that probably cuts the numbers down a bit.
And just, I mean, I don't even know. I don't know a lady firefighter.
Also, I feel like all I know is it's really hard to become one. So like I don't know if it's like you have to know somebody, blah blah
Maybe.
blah.
Construction workers.
Say 50.
9.9%.
9.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess that kind of because now that I'm thinking of it, when they're all just standing around doing nothing, usually only one of them is a lady, or there's no lady.
I mean, the numbers support that.
That's kind of surprising, I think. I thought there'd be even more in that.
Pilots and flight engineers.
Here I'll go like 10%.
5.2.
5. Okay,
Where are the ladies?
they're at the hospital apparently.
Yeah, we are.
They're wiping our butts at the hospital.
Clergy.
1%.
17.6.
17.
There's nunneries.
Okay.
Cloister?
I forgot about nuns.
I don't know. I don't know what they're counting as clergy. Software development.
25.
19.
19.
That's your closest one yet.
But also I hope those numbers bump out because I know a few ladies in that field and like they're always trying to get other ladies involved, and I think that's awesome.
Maybe also, so I don't know about you guys, but I like to evade being counted into things.
You know what? That is true. We are
Just for
we're
giggles?
secretive, like cats.
Yeah. So maybe they're just not being counted.
When they come out for the census, we all hide.
All right, and finally, nursing.
Nursing, 85.
92%.
See, I was pretty close with that one.
I can't tell you how fun it is. It's terrible sometimes, often, but it also, the camaraderie with my coworkers, I love those girls.
I can
It's
see
like
that.
you have this base of you could talk about anything. They're funny. You end up talking about, listen, night shift, you end up talking about some pretty wild things at 3 a.m. and just really trauma bonds you. And I am very appreciative of my cool coworkers.
I can see that.
It's so nice and helpful to have male nurses to work with too, because when the patients get wild, you tell them that's the doctor and sometimes they'll calm down.
Because
It's all
everybody loves to
trickery.
lie. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually in all the coworkers of yours that I've met. They've always been like really cool ladies, so
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's because we see terrible things and it makes us all pretty funny.
Great.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, that is going to bring us to our next segment.
Haiku time.
Everybody's favorite, haiku time.
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
Elizabeth thought, more than just a pretty face, pencil in the leg.
I love it. That was one of my favorite parts.
Me too. So read the book and you can laugh along with us, because, heyo.
Mine is, times are still hardish. Discrimination, it sucks. Strong women prevail. And I'm also going to add in a postscript. Let's band together because they can't catch us all.
All right, yeah. Hell yeah.
All right.
I like that.
Sign up by subscribing.
Well, so the cheese that I went with cottage.
Oh, I cut your cheese off.
It's fine.
Oh, no.
Actually, I feel like we should do
Don't say cut the cheese. Gosh.
I kind of liked it where we did haikus, and then we'll talk about cheese.
Okay.
I did cottage cheese because, I don't know, I feel like when you think about a bunch of scientists in a lab eating lunch, they're eating cottage cheese.
I mean,
So-
it is very high in protein
I love cottage
and delicious
cheese.
with pineapple.
I love cottage cheese. I could eat a tub of it myself. I probably shouldn't. I don't do that. Why do I keep saying that about cheese?
You are sensitive to dairy.
It's so good though. I love cottage cheese.
The cheese that I went with pecorino, which is like pecorino. It's a hard cheese, like a Parmesan.
Oh, I just pictured like a bird sculpture made of cheese.
Oh, I mean, you could make one out of that and it would hold up.
Okay. Like a parrot, pecorino.
Right. I thought that it was good because it's sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, like Elizabeth, and it's it's a hard cheese, like math and sciences.
Okay, fair enough.
To our lady brains, it's
Yeah,
so hard.
me, I'm not so good at thinking. Tee That's for you boys.
Oh.
So then are we at the,
I will also say that listen, if you listen to this whole episode, it's going to sound like we really hate men, and we don't.
I literally was saying this earlier where I was like, I gotta get all the comments out now so that later I don't sound as like the
Angry.
woman man-hating club.
I think
'cause I don't
that's-
hate men at all. I don't hate anybody. If anything, like, we both share our lives with men, and like, the men that are in my life right now, I love all of them. I respect them. They respect me. And that's kind of what this book was about too. 'Cause like from the summary, like Calvin, I loved the romance in this book. I loved the mutual respect, how they met, I loved all of it. I thought it was so good. It was so charming. It was so much fun to read. Like, I loved that part of the book too. So like, no, I don't hate anybody. And
Definitely.
like, if anything, like, I feel like, if anything, the men that I know now really make me just like, it helps all of the bad stuff that have happened over the years. It helps heal that just because of the men that I know now.
That is so true. I think that I know. We're both coming from backgrounds where we were very into like punk and metal music scenes, which again is very male dominated. So growing up, I would say that a lot of my friends were dudes, and just being the chick with all the dudes, not because I didn't like other women, but just because that's what came of going to shows like that. It's been so freeing to have gotten to a place where so many more of my friends are female. And like you said, it's like, not that there's anything wrong with any of you if you're listening, but just growing up and having more well-rounded characters on both or any gender is just like, it really does like heal a lot of problems from the past.
Yeah, but although there's nothing quite like a girl gang, which now that
It's so
in the metal
fun.
scene around here, man, all of the ladies that show up to shows now, they're great. It's
They're
just,
great.
it's a fun time had by all.
If you're not screaming in a car full of women, listening to some bops,
Oh,
going
yeah.
through a Taco Bell drive-thru at 2 a.m., you haven't really lived.
Yeah, that's
You
the
let
true
us
fun.
know, and we'll take you out. So
Yeah, if you want to have a good time.
just let us know.
Oh yeah.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah, that's weird. Although, well, if there's Taco Bell, I'd show up.
We do love Taco Bell.
Mm.
Who doesn't?
Okay.
Somebody.
I should have ate before this.
What's your grazie and goodbye?
So I said that I'm grateful, especially as of lately, for the nice people. And I know I said I keep doing social media, but like for Instagram, like the book, what is it called?
Bookstagram?
Bookstagram.
Book Talk? Booktube?
That community on Instagram, like I've really been enjoying it. I feel like everyone's been so nice to us. Everybody wants to have a chit chat. Everybody, I'm really enjoying it. And like, don't ever be afraid to reach out to us on here. If you're gonna be nice, if you're gonna be mean, don't bother.
You still could.
Yeah, we'll probably, yeah. But I've just really been enjoying it, and like everybody has been really cool, and I.
But agreed, it's just so supportive.
Yeah.
It's like you get to talk about books, what's better. It's so fun, and
That's
it really
really
is a
it.
great community.
A hobby where it's
Thanks, Bookstagram.
it's kind of hard to find people who like to read, like out in the wild. So
Although it's becoming more prevalent. Have you
Yeah.
noticed at Target now, near the checkout, there's an end cap of books?
there's an also. I feel like when we were in the book aisle, it was busy
It's
in that aisle.
poppin'.
It was a busy aisle.
And it's a huge aisle now.
Oh yeah.
Good for
Good.
that. Thanks, Target.
What is your grazie for?
Mine is that I am appreciative of living in a time and place where I could pretty much go for whatever job I want to.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think that that's awesome. I really appreciate being, there's still some awkward moments where people put unnecessary pressure on me, but I am really appreciative that for the most part, it is not a big deal that I am an unmarried person without children,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I can be my own person.
That is good. And it does, like, reading this book really kind of does make you appreciate how we live now better, just because, like, man, it was so judgmental and, like,
I would have had to live
Can imagine.
in like a really weird,
what?
I don't know, cave in the woods.
And it would have been
Back then.
us together in some sort of rundown mansion. Although, that sounds great. That sounds kind of like how we grew up.
You went Grey
style.
Gardens,
Yeah.
and I was thinking the Witch Sisters in the Woods in Sleepy Hollow. Somewhere between those two is where we would land.
I could see that. You're the fancy one. The
I would
fancy
be Little
murderous
Edie.
one.
Oh,
And I'm that dirty witch in the cave.
you're Christopher Walken.
No, with his pointy teeth.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's scary. Why'd you bring that up? I gotta walk home.
It's light out still.
Still, he'll get me.
Well, guys, that is going to be the end of our episode today. Thanks, all of you, so much for the subscriptions, the follows, the
Downloads.
interactions.
Everything.
Yeah, it's really been great, and we think that you all are super rad. So, till
Okay.
next time, that's Night Cheese Book Club signing out.
Bye-bye.
Bye!